What's good, guys? So I'm here at my buddy's house and we're installing some Rev9 Coilovers. I know that name's familiar to you guys because I have those on my car. He already got the fronts installed. Currently we are disassembling the shocks, and then we just need to get the rear coils in, and he's still running the stock camber arms, so I think he plans on getting some aftermarket ones eventually. But here's a look at the Rev9, the rears, same exact ones as mine, 32 damper level adjustments. How you doing over there, bud?
It's hot.
It's hot, right?
It is hot.
It's beautiful out though, guys, seriously. All we need is a nice fan, a sprinkler. So we just got the rear coil off and the rear shock. We did have to loosen up the rear camber arm a little bit in order to drop the assembly, in order to pry out that rear coil. Even when you do that, you still are going to need a little pry bar in order to get it out. The shock, prepping the rear shock with some anti-seize. Look at this comparison though, guys. This thing is so beefy compared to these little coilovers for the back. That's when you know that thing's about to get dropped. Sheesh. You ready for this, man?
So
hell yeah. Had to make that Lowe's stop. You know, anytime there's a project, always got to hit up your local Lowe's. Shout out.
So now what we're doing to get the camber arm out is jacking it up so that way we won't have a bunch of pressure on that bolt holding it back in, and we can just slide it out.
I think I should be able to knock it at this point. That's good. So surprisingly, after only one stop to Lowe's, we already got the passenger rear installed, both the shock and the coil, sitting nice and flush. Looking good, right?
Yeah.
Now we got to do the other side, and the sun, unfortunately, is now facing the other side. So whatever, time to get a nice little tan, I guess. So basically, even once, even once you lower your whole entire assembly and drop the camber arm and your shock, you're still gonna have a little bit of issue getting your rear coil out because it still is gonna be a little tight in there. So the only way you gotta, in order to get this out, is you need someone to push down on the assembly right here while the other person pries like a screwdriver or a pry bar underneath the coil, push it to the other side, pull up, and then pull it through.
So much lighter.
Such quality compared to the OEM shock. The OEM shock is literally...
The bushing on here seems really nice.
It is, dude. The OEM shock is literally just like a freaking piece of plastic. Like, what the hell is this? And that bushing, I mean, bushing doesn't look too bad, but these things are definitely a lot beefier. So now once you got everything out of there, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do, well, obviously we didn't pull the shock through yet, but after you pull the shock through and you have everything exposed, the first thing that you wanna do is you're gonna wanna push that, or have someone down here and someone up there by the trunk, And if you're by yourself, it's really not that hard. You just want to feed the shock up, tighten it up top, and then once you got the shock on, you're going to want to put the spring right here. But the thing is, since the spring is so small, you're going to have someone holding it there the whole entire time while you jack up your rotor and the whole assembly. That way you could
make sure everything's lined up.
Yeah, that way you can make sure everything is all lined up. And the first thing that you're going to want to tighten is your shock, and then the camber arm very last. You obviously have your lining, your trunk lining, and you have these little plastic clips. I already took them out already. We're going to put them back in, but it's literally little screws in there that you just unscrew. FA1 life. Hey. So you just unscrew these out. They're just little screws in there. It's like you use a little flathead, and then you pull down on the lining. In the top of the shock with the top hat, it should be exposed. And as you see right here, there's a little opening on top of the threads. And what you're gonna want to do is put a little Allen wrench in there. I'm not sure the exact size. I'll let you guys know when I figure that out. I'm gonna grab like a 14 box wrench and be loosening that up while you hold the Allen wrench in there so it doesn't move on you. Actually a 5. A little trick I like to use when you have no one helping you, Bryce.
I'm trying to get this.
Is I like to keep the Allen wrench against your trunk, and that way when you pull on your box wrench, it literally does not move at all, and it loosens up the bolt just like that. So now, once you get everything is all off on top, the shock literally should just come right out. Yeah.
It's just a little stiff because there's a rubber bushing up there, so just, if it doesn't come, just give it a little pull. That's it. Wow. Dude, look at that. That's disgusting. I don't even, like, how does sand even get in there? Alright, so now we're gonna slide the jack under here and lift it up again to get the shock in line with that little bracket right there. You might have to do a little tapping around with a rubber mallet. We did that on the other side and it helped a lot. Ooh, I went too far. This is another little trick to get these aligned. Just take a screwdriver, stick it through there, and drop it on the ground. No, then you just kind of wiggle it, slide it back and forth a couple times, go up and down, and it should line you right up. Get the bolt here.
Basically, if you guys end up putting in the shock and your camber arm, installing those two before you install your coil, and think you don't have enough space, don't worry. You can kind of just sneak in the coil through the top here.
After you let the assembly back down.
Yeah, after you let the assembly back down. I'm not going to take it out, but basically you just sneak it up and push it in, and it's small enough where you don't need a condenser. The moment of truth, guys. Here we are. Rev9 lowering coilovers. You're good. Take it nice and slow. Keep going, bud. Keep it coming. Oh, good. Goody, good, good. No gap, no gap. Look at her sitting all nice and purty. Woo! Boy, she looks good. The fronts even sit.
It'll settle.
The fronts even sit a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Dude, literally same fitment as me. Look. I don't even think I touched mine out of the box. Guys, when you order Rev9s, they literally come perfectly already set up. Like, fitment is already...
For 17-inch wheels.
For 17-inch wheels, yeah.
Bigger than 17s, you might have...
I mean, 18s, I feel like they'd be good with 18s too, but...
Yeah. But then you might have fender lining rub or something, but...
But fitment is great, guys, so... There she is.